Hey Casio, set an alarm for 5 p.m. Casio? Oh, right. This thing doesn't have voice command. Two watches. Both icons of their time, the Casio DBC-32 and the Apple Watch Ultra. One runs for 10 years on a single battery, while the other needs charging every 2 days. But here's the question, has technological progress actually made us happier? Pixels on the trail here. Let's start with what they represent and how they came about. The Casio DBC-32 was released in the early 2000s, but was a more modern take on Casio's earlier Databank calculator from the 1980s. That is now part of what's considered retro or vintage tech. The original Databank watches were groundbreaking in that for the first time, this device on your wrist wasn't just a watch, but a chance to store and carry personal data with you. The version that I have here is the one from the early 2000s, played on that retro feel, but provided a really solid watch with all the necessary basics at a really good price. Overall though, these weren't just watches. At the time, they represented freedom and introduced wearable computing before it was cool. Fast forward 3 decades, and we have the Apple Watch Ultra 3, with the first Apple Watch being introduced in 2015. It is the ultimate smartwatch, a computer on your wrist, GPS, music, fitness tracking, ECG, you name it, and of course cellular. That also represented freedom, allowing you to stay connected with just your watch. With the Apple Watch Ultra, my days were efficient, connected, very productive, but also strangely felt busier, despite getting more done in a short amount of time. Messages on the wrist, fitness rings to close, heart rate zones to monitor. It's helpful, but it's pretty constant. With the Casio, however, I didn't get reminders. I got quiet. I still ran, still worked, still lived my day-to-day life, but I just wasn't tracking it all. And it was strangely liberating and reminded me of a time when we didn't always have something constantly grabbing for our attention. So it begs the question, what did we actually gain over 40 years of technological advances that eventually led to the redefinition of what a watch should be? Upon reflection, it became a question of simplicity versus capability. Capability is both a blessing and a curse, as the more capable something is, like this Apple Watch Ultra, the more a tool can do, the more decisions you then have to make about it, paradoxically making it more complicated and probably more time-consuming. So at a certain point, you do reach a wall of diminishing returns. So for example, to a new user of a device like the Apple Watch, you've got the cognitive cost of setting up the device, learning the functions, then managing things like battery and settings, and then overall maintenance, making sure it doesn't break. Don't forget, of course, the overall higher cost in monetary terms of a device that's more capable as well. But then on the other hand, simple tools like this Casio here, they offer a lower point of entry, bypassing all the upfront time and cost, and leaves you with more headroom to think about other things in life. Now, this experiment wasn't about which is better, it's more about what kind of life each encourages. The Apple Watch Ultra gives you everything: data, control, insight. It's about optimization. While the Casio gives you almost nothing, but it also doesn't take much away from you with regards to time, attention, or money. And I think in that lies the key. It's about allowing yourself to block distractions and be in the moment completely. We're fortunate enough to live in a time where we can choose to have a highly capable watch like the Apple Watch and be very productive, or go with a simpler, more mindful experience with our technology like this Casio. And we ought to make use of that, varying our tools based on the needs in that moment. Because sometimes a 40-year-old watch does the most modern of things, allows you to disconnect. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're interested in similar topics around mindful tech. And as always, charge less, maybe once every 10 years, and run more. See ya.